Hey, everybody out there. Welcome back to Papa Don't Preach. I'm here with my main man, Bennett Miller. How you doing, Bennett?
Not too bad today. How are things in your world?
I'm good. A little schwitzy in here.
It's
very hot.
like it's so hot that it's making the news nationally. Like you never know it's good whenever you turn on national news. And it's like California is gonna burst into flames.
Yeah, I judge the weather the same way. They're like, Mar-a-Lago got raided. It's hot in LA. I'm like, oh fuck,
no.
oh, I'm not going outside.
Like, oh shit, we're after Trump news.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Before we started, Bennett was actually venting to me a little bit about what makes him feel the most white.
Well, you were singing like flavor,
Yeah, a little flavorful, yeah.
And next line is like flavor in your ear, and like even saying it right now it hurts. Like I never feel more like terribly white than trying to recite or say rap lyrics. Like it's like literally like you could say like, hey Siri, what are the lyrics to whatever, and that's the equivalent of me saying rap lyrics. Like no soul, no intonation.
Well, I have that same. I used to rip on my cousins when they used to rap.
Mm-hmm.
I could go to Nigeria, some song that came out, and they start rapping. I'm like, man, you guys sound like the white kids from my school. And I figured out it's just like the enunciation. Like there's a certain cadence when it comes to hip hop. So when they're like, I'm a sucker for corn rolls and manicured toes, Philly capri pants, and I'm just like, no, stop. No.
Yeah, birthday was a worth day. Now we drink champagne when I'm thirsty. It's not work, doesn't work.
Oh man, it's one of those things that will always crack me up. I love like hip hop has now grown like so universal. Like it's for everybody now.
Yeah.
It's for
it's
everybody.
in country music. It's unavoidable.
Well, see, country music, is it for everybody?
Country music's not for everybody. That's one of the things that gets under my skin. It's like hearing a hip hop beat in a country song. It's like, motherfuckers, like that, that's not. You would not be cool if it wasn't Big and Rich singing over that shit.
Oh yeah, I remember. I got a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt, and she was killing me in that mini skirt, and I was like, I can't relate to that. I don't feel that. Not at all. And that's the thing too, is like I go to a hip hop show now, and I'm like me and my buddy Ron went to go see T-Pain at the Novo, and we were excited. We're like, oh shit, this was recently. It was this year. We're like, oh shit, T-Pain in the house. Like, we grew up with Bartender and all that shit. We're like, okay, we got to go see T-Pain. We got in there, and I was like, I feel out of place, because it was just like 30-year-old white women and 19-year-old black chicks. And I was like, I don't feel like I belong here. And then I remember when I went to Arrowhead, there was like always something going on in the plaza up in Arrowhead. And we're like, okay, what's going to go there? And they're like, oh, they're having a concert. And I was like, oh, it's a Garth Brooks cover band.
Ooh,
and I was like, how bad could it be? And boy, was I wrong. I was just like, huh. There are a lot of Confederate flags here. This is for the cover band. Like, it's not like Garth Brooks is there. This is a Garth Brooks cover band. And there was they covered a Jimi Hendrix song. They covered a Bob Dylan song.
I mean, Jimi Hendrix is one of the good ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that statement will forever be in my heart as funny more than it is racist.
Coming from where I'm from, I've only heard it in a racist capacity.
Yeah, no, he's one of the good ones, and I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Excuse me?
Oh, Jesus. But it's funny because I say that about white people. Oh no, she's one, because like it's funny, like most black people, when they're like they get a new white friend or they invite somebody to the cookout or the barbecue, and it's like, oh yo, this is Marvin. He's chill. He's one of the good ones. Like it's not a big deal.
During the pandemic, obviously, like it was the pandemic and fucking there was riots in the streets. So like you just like me and Nat were walking around, say hi to everyone. And one of our neighbors one day, she stopped me. She's like, you're so nice. Like you always say hi to everybody. Like, you're not like one of the, you're one of the good ones. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Like you didn't take it as like, oh, what a racist bitch.
No.
You're like, oh, thank God.
I was like, I appreciate that. I know what you're saying. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, nice. But yeah, if you call a black guy one of the good ones, you're just like, whoa.
As opposed to what?
Oh, whoa. Yeah, it's so crazy how different races, different cultures genders, there's certain things you could say that if it were in the opposite, it wouldn't be chill. And I was driving to work. I was listening to one of the drag podcasts with Shannon, and like I dread it. I'm like, ugh, this doesn't appeal to me. But you know, these guys are talking. They're like basically rating dick pictures, and you know, like the fact that it was dicks didn't bother me. The only thing I was thinking about, I was like, yo, what if some dude was on here talking about chicks this way? Like, oh yeah, oh love her tits. I'm gonna stick that one in my mouth and suck it. And I'm just like, I would be sitting there like, I'm not gonna listen to this.
I don't listen to dudes talk about that.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to dudes putting anything in their mouth unless it's Flamin' Hot Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Check out our last pod. Anyway,
hell of a plug.
Yeah. General Mills, sponsor us. But yeah, I always think about like the different contexts, and like that just sparked something to me. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, calling a white guy one of the good ones is something I do routinely.
Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, thank you. I am one of the good ones.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Thank you. But yeah, reverse, it's like, oh no. Yeah. It's an instant trip to HR.
Yeah, instant trip to HR. Oh man.
I meant accountant. He's one of the good accountants.
Wait, what do you mean accountant?
Oh, God damn it.
It's always Cheryl from accounting. I feel bad for any woman named Cheryl that's in accounting. It fucking sucks. Like it's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing ever. Like our society is moving into crazy town. You know, like if you break down everything that's happening, you know, like if you're named Karen, you're the worst.
Yeah.
Like imagine waking up one morning and your name is a slur to white women.
I think that'd be a funny plot to see, like a Karen that woke up and now she's just like, now she's a Karen. Like, but I'm not a Karen. Like, oh, you're a Karen.
That would be a great movie. There is a Karen movie though, with I forgot her name.
Is it a horror movie? Is it a?
Yeah, it's like a horror film. Yeah. It's like this black family moves into this woman who's like always putting on a nice face, and like her brother's a cop, and you know, she's always saying, like, you know, she walks into their house when they invited her home for dinner. It's like, oh, look at you slaving away at the kitchen. And like, I saw the trailer and woof,
yeah,
it's rough. I'm like, you guys, when I see movies like that, it's like they wrote a script. Other adults came around to fix the script. Other adults came around to read the script. Other adults came around to give money to the script. A bunch of other adults came around to film that script, and then some other adults saw this whole thing that like got pulled together, the whole process, and like, all right, cut and print.
Yeah, and we're good. We just had, like, because we both work in like TV and stuff, so we have mandatory HR meetings all the time. And they always have like, there's one part, it's like, hey, where's one instance where you can be racist? Yeah. And it's like, well, if you're like an actor in a role and you have to say some racist shit, like that's the only approval. But they always shoehorn that in. It's like, well, guess what? If you're an actor, you can say some bad stuff.
Yeah,
it's all part of the job.
It's so crazy how they separate the bits.
Yeah.
And we have two HR people over at our company, and like one is like, you know, the standard, like, I guess like clean cut white dude, probably gay, I don't know, he's very funny. But like I always love having this guy because he just goes right into it. He's like, yeah, you know, you can't pull your dick and balls out, you know, you can't say certain things, and like he starts going in, like he's like, you have to understand the climate we're living in. I shouldn't be saying this, but we're all adults, so let's talk about it. And this other woman, she gets up there and she's just so proper, and she makes sure she's speaking clearly, and she's like, you know, there's some jokes that are saying, like, you know, there's some jokes said about, you know, African Americans. I'm like, you could say black.
Yeah. It's worse when you say it like that.
Well, yeah, like I know how African American was the proper term, but by like referring to somebody as African American takes away from their American. Like everybody on this block is black. They're not. They're black Americans. That's who they are. They're just Americans.
Yeah.
You know. But when you call them African Americans, you're drawing a line to where they should be. When this motherfucker's like Aloria, who like I'm renting this house from, her grandparents bought this house when like they were like 20. They were the first black family to live on this block, you know, and she's 20 years older than I am. Like she's got kids of her own. Her grandparents had this house, gave it to her parents. Her parents raised her in this house. She raised her kids in this house and finally moved. So it's just like, she ain't African. She's like, very far removed from African.
Yeah, like as my stupid white understanding of it is like in the 70s when like racial identity was becoming a prevalent thing. That's what a lot of lost youth with no identity. It was like, well, at least this is something I got. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, it went from niggers to Negroes to coloreds. Then it went to the what was it? Afro-Americans. Yeah, Afro-Americans, and then shines, and then in New York, eggplants. They were doing all types of shit. They're like, it was spooks. They were like, yeah. Like, if we do in other words, we can do black people, and I'll beat you.
It just bleeps and then you saying words.
Yeah. Gonna put our fucking editing crew to work.
How about white people? I'm not saying cracker.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, man, I'll go first, and then once you say five of them in a row, just like beep.
Yeah. No, it's like, no, you go first.
You go ahead,
my friend.
Greatest prank ever pulled. Yeah. I know that we were talking about it earlier, dude. This Mar-a-Lago story is getting absolutely nuts. It's getting nuts.
It is like.
This dude is a constant form of entertainment.
He like the phrase like living rent free in your head.
Yeah.
Like during the election and now, I mean, honestly, because he never leaves. Like there is a Mar-a-Lago in my brain.
Yeah.
This fucking asshole. And it's like he won't leave. Like he won't. This is callous or whatever. But if he would die, I'm fine with that too. Just so he'd get out of my fucking head.
Dude, I never wish that anybody would die, but I'm just. At this point, I'm kind of like, let's just wait till he dies. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, he's going to keep saying all types of shit. Like, he's not an American hero. He hasn't done anything that's notable. Like, what? Trump vodka? Trump steaks? What? Like, what does he have?
Trump the board game was really fun.
Oh, my God. Guess who, Trump?
It's... I was just saying before, it's like the emperor has had no clothes for so long. And it's like
Bro.
more and more people will be like, oh, wow, look, you can see his dick. Like, It just seems like it's finally people are falling off the bandwagon. But he had empty classified files in his house next to his Time magazine.
We were talking about that earlier. That doesn't make any sense to me. That has to be propaganda. Like, I know I'm perpetuating this
I don't
bullshit.
think they make extras. I don't think they make extra, like, top secret documents. I think he took the documents out. And kept him for a fucking souvenir because that's the kind of asshole he is.
That's what I was saying to you, man. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if I got a porno that I know I wasn't supposed to have at my mom's house, I take off the label. I'm not sticking it on the wall, and that blank tape is going in a Rugrats fucking VHS sleeve. Like, there's no way I'm gonna get caught. That wrapper, the case, is getting thrown at the dumpster at the Rouse down the street. I'm wiping my fingerprints off of it. Like, the fact that. I guess, like, you could think about just how arrogant this motherfucker is. Like, I took these documents. They ain't going to get me.
I mean, like, I was the president. These are my documents. Like, literally in the picture, it's like his Time magazine cover, like, next to classified documents that are blacked out because they couldn't see them. Like, the FBI had to ask for approval to look at certain documents.
I honestly think he was going to try and take the sleeves for the classified document, sign them, and sell them to people on all
right, so you didn't see this. You didn't, like, I read an article this morning. There's in Trump Tower in his bar, in like the 46 bar, there's a classified envelope there, like, today. Like, someone went there and saw it, like, one of those empty classified envelopes he brought to his bar in fucking Trump Tower so he could show off, like, in his presidential bullshit jerk-off corner.
Oh my God!
Like that's who he is. Like that's you. Like you guessed it. Like yep, ding ding ding,
ding ding.
Yep, he wanted to show off,
dude. Sometimes, and this is gonna be fucked up. Sometimes, like I know he's genuinely funny. He's an idiot, and he's genuinely funny.
He said some hilarious, he's got some real good burns. Like he said some funny shit. But ultimately, like I'd rather be entertained by anything else. Like
oh yeah, I'd rather see somebody literally slowly push a flaming piece of shit off a chair.
Yeah, like that monkey that drinks his own pee.
Yeah,
like
that's funny.
From back in the day, I'd watch that on a loop over Donald Trump news any day.
Yeah, so, but yeah, man, he's been like a great source of comedy. Like some of the shit he says is really, really funny. I remember like one of my favorite DJT clips is him explaining how he aced that test. He's just man, woman, TV. Like
it's like he nailed his competency test.
Yeah, it was like the fact that like that was something he constantly bragged about. Like, I aced that test. They were telling me how smart I was. I was the smartest person they've ever seen. And like any normal human being that's been alive would be like, yo, bro, we know that's not true. Stop.
Yeah, it's like acing your driving exam. It's like acing your, I don't know, fucking personality quiz. It's like the same equivalent.
I took a rock, I threw it, I hit the floor, and best throw ever. Great.
All the rock surveyors saw it and were like, this was the best rock they've ever seen thrown.
Yeah.
Farthest they've ever seen to throw this rock. Motherfucker.
Oh, man.
Everyone can throw a rock.
Everybody can throw a goddamn rock. Jesus Christ. Hey.
Yeah.
But sadly, Mississippi is going through some shit right now, and that whole region, that's your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, like speaking of being fucked over by the government, yeah, Mississippi it's Jackson specifically, like the capital, is in a horrible fucking water crisis right now.
I can't imagine that the entire state of Mississippi doesn't have water, like drinkable, usable water.
Yeah, I think it's Jackson, like specifically, which is the capital.
To me, that's all of Mississippi. There's there other places in Mississippi?
There's Biloxi.
What the fuck is a Biloxi?
Biloxi has casinos.
Oh. So does Chumash. That shit ain't on a map.
In college, I did a run of Beauty and the Beast there, working crew at the Grand Casino in Biloxi in December. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So
I wonder.
Like during that, I've been to Biloxi, lived in the casino for 2 weeks, ate casino food with the other casino dealers and stuff. Yeah.
They're not Indian casinos. They're regular casinos, right?
No, I think they're all, normal folks.
No, normal folk casino.
God damn it.
God.
Cut that.
Your white showing. Your white showing.
Imperialist bastard over here. Yeah.
Oh, man. Talk about a sneak attack.
No, they weren't on stolen land. They're legitimate casinos.
Oh, man, that's so funny. I literally put an Oreo in a basket and pulled the string right up from under. I was just like, got him. Got you, bitch. But yeah, I mean,
it's hot in here.
I do declare, Mr. Bennett. I do declare. Well, I mean, that's one of the things that, because we're from two different regions and cultures. This has made me think what's going on in Mississippi about like how prepared I am for a natural disaster. Like you actually went through a natural disaster, and I want to take a quick break and we'll come back. I want to talk about like, are we prepared? Like, are we doing everything we need to be prepared? Especially now that it's not just us. We can't just go road warrior out the window. Like we have families to take care of to make sure we can get the hell out of Dodge when, we get a Dante's Peak in downtown LA. But yeah, we'll be right back. This is Papa Don't Preach. Hey, and welcome back to Papa Don't Preach. We are still continuing our show here. And to start off this segment, from the immortal words of Sugar Free, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That's what we're talking about right now. Being prepared, staying ready. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. And with the growing climate crisis we are facing in our generation, LA could be underwater tomorrow. We don't know that. There could be a giant earthquake. We don't know that. Godzilla can show up. We don't know that.
Yeah, Natalie, my wife, always references the documentary movie San Andreas as like a real source of
was that what that was that theater
it was
actor,
Dwayne, I think it was Dwayne. Is his name?
Yeah, Dwayne. Dwayne the Pebble Johnson.
Dwayne's classically trained.
Yes, classically trained actor Dwayne the Pebble Johnson.
Living in this country, being all over this country, it's pretty clear that God hates everyone everywhere. Mm-hmm. There's natural disasters every single part of every corner of this country. You're going to get flooded on. You're going to get tornadoed. You're going to get, hurricaned. You're going to get fired. You're going to get earthquaked. Yeah. You're going to get sunburnt. You're going to get drowned.
Skin cancer. Like, it's going to happen to you.
So, yeah, like talking about Mississippi, like the water crisis there, like it's unbelievable, but it's also completely believable. Like the government, I'm from New Orleans. Like I was in Katrina, not in Katrina, but like it affected me. I was living in New Orleans when it happened. I evacuated to my mom's house, lost everything. and that was like the real nail in my coffin of like trusting the government. Not like building my own militia, but like, oh no, these fuckers don't care about me, like that kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the government. There are things that I do follow, like, you know, I stop at red lights, I register my car. You know, there's parts of the government. I went to school, and I think that kids should be in school. Like, I support that shit, like local government. There's parts of government I appreciate, but I also think that, you know, as Dr. Phil says, there's two sides of a fucking pancake. Don't matter how thin you make it. And when you flip all the good shit that the government does do and provide that we follow, we fund, there's just so much backdoor dealing and like fucked up shit that they do. And I guess kind of feel like we're going to be left on our own. And
I mean, neglect is the name of the game. Like,
yes, 100%. I live like where we live. Like, it's
like we're
crazy.
living it. Like we live in, like, you know, California is like, you know, this communist liberal paradise, but also like our power grid's at the max level too. Like,
it's nuts.
This same year, like we were like at 100% renewable energy, but also like it could fucking go away at any second now.
I was here when I was in high school. We had rolling blackouts because of a heat wave and our power grid not being able to sustain it. I remember being on the basketball court and the whole entire, like all of Santa Clara lost power.
Yeah.
Like for 8 hours. Like it was nuts. Like we walked outside, we walked out to the bus. They're like, we can't leave. Like the bus driver's like, I'm not going to drive onto the freeway. We don't know when the lights are coming back on. So we just all huddled next to candles and lights.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of the sticks. Gross. Central California. But yeah, so like when you were younger, did you have like a go bag, like a get the fuck out of Dodge bag?
Well, because like in Louisiana, like the only benefit of hurricanes is like you see them coming. They don't sneak up on you like an earthquake.
Oof.
So you see them coming like days in advance. So like, you know, that's where like the term like a hurricane party. Have you ever heard that?
No, it sounds like very Southern.
It's super fucking Southern. Like it's like a hurricane party like back in the day, like before Katrina, and after Katrina, everything changed. Like
you guys playing Garth Brooks over there?
Yeah, we got friends in low places. Colin Baton Rouge. That's why I don't mind quoting Garth Brooks. I feel very white doing that. So yeah, like a hurricane party, it's like you'd get the bottled water before, you know, the booze would run out of the store shelves first before the water. Like that's, and then like people would you'd tuck in, get your food, get your preserves, and just hang out and party and ride out the storm.
That's what a hurricane party is.
Yeah, that's it. You just hang out with your friends, or like, you know, like the day after the storm when everything shut down, you go and hang out and like, you know, like go like, oh, you heard about this? Oh, you see about this shit? Like,
oh, it's kind of like a pandemic party.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it was like, you know, it was a fun, because like hurricanes, they come with very strong winds. There's going to be, you know, tree damage. There might be power outage. You know, might be flooding. But like until Katrina, there really wasn't like, there's a handful. Like Andrew was the one that really like fucked us over. Like we didn't have power for 2 weeks. And
that was like in the mid 90s.
In the 90s, yeah, early 90s.
Early 90s.
But yeah, like for a hurricane, like we'd always write it out. Like mom would be like, okay, we fill the bathtubs full of water, because that's like in case the pipes blow, we'd have like a bathtub full of clean water.
Yep.
We'd put all our mattresses and pillow in the hallway in case, you know, a tornado would pop out of nowhere and
rip off the side of the house. You're just like, ooh, they got in the hallway.
I remember sleeping in the hallway, you know, and then like whenever it was late at night, like you'd hear the eye of the hurricane come over, and like the eye of the hurricane's whenever it's like completely still. So it's been hours of torrential rain pour and wind and just chaos, and then it's just silence. And it's fucking wild and eerie. I
have been in the eye of a insane storm when I was in Dallas.
Yeah.
I was in Dallas, and we were working on a show there, and we were people in LA laugh at tornadoes. Like, we do not have respect for tornadoes here. We're like, oh, death from above, cool. Try the world opening up and swallowing you from underneath. Like,
yeah,
fuck you, Montana. We got real problems. Like, we don't respect tornadoes out here. Like, I am scared of them, but I don't. I'm like, it's something you see in movies. Like a cow, that's like a cow flying through a window.
It's fucking Dorothy problem.
Yeah, that's I don't fuck with that. But you know, they said that we had the sirens went off. There was a tornado warning. We're out to dinner. We're like across the street from our hotel, so we're like, it's not a big deal. Like, there's a bunch of buildings here. Like, a tornado's not going to rip through here and kill us all. And, you know, as we're sitting there ripping on tornadoes, all the windows, they had like those like big glass doors that like slide open, like fold open. I don't even know what they're called, like infinity doors or whatever the fuck they're called. they just get blasted off the hinges. Like tables and chairs are flying through the restaurant. Like I did not know what was happening. I was like, somebody lit off a bomb. I'm like, in my head, I was like trying to go hide. Like our whole crew's like, oh my shit. Like we were running. And then we figured out we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And the next day, like, not the next day, but as that happened, we start running towards our hotel, and it sounds like God is slapping the city on the side. Like there's thunder, it's all this noise, and then poof, everything stops. And at the time, I didn't know what that meant. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is cool. This is kind of like end of days weather. That's crazy. Hey, what's that? And I just see like this, and it's like this wall of water just came out of nowhere and started hitting us. And we like went into the lobby of the hotel. We're like, what the fuck was that? And like, oh, you guys hit the eye of the storm, huh? Yeah. I was like, okay, easy, Bob.
Yeah, it's the South. Like I don't know if I mentioned on this show, but like one of my like distinct childhood memories was like at me on my bike, like a couple streets away from my house, and like a summer storm started, and I could see it like coming at me, like the rain, like raining at me, and like getting closer. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, what is this? Like, isn't that how rain works? It's chasing me. Yeah, the South weather gets real fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
So we always had like some canned goods and stuff, but like leave hurricanes, like I said, like you have days to prepare. So you go run to the store, you clear out the store shelves of booze and canned goods, and then you just hunker down for a couple of days. But you know, here where earthquakes would pop off in the middle of the night and scare the shit out of you.
It was like a big 90s thing. Like I don't even know anybody who has earthquake kits anymore.
Oh, we do.
Like I do now.
Yeah.
I have my little go bag in the closet. I have my little water filtration straw. I've got my water purification pills. I got my binoculars, my fucking knife, my mask, my big ass first aid kit, my rations pack. It's all like in a first aid bag in the back of the closet, which I now realize during an earthquake, that's probably the first thing that's going to collapse. So I should find a better place for it.
You should be in the front closet.
Yeah.
That's where our earthquake kit is. No, because Nat's from Texas. I'm from Louisiana. So yeah, earthquakes scare the fuck out of us. Like to be doing nothing and then the earth is moving is a horrifying feeling.
Yeah, it's you never get used to it either.
No. Because I literally had worked the other day. There was some PA from Texas like, oh, I can't wait to feel one, and everyone was like, nope, no, you don't. And then inevitably brings up the stories of the North. Yeah, like you were here for the Northridge quake, which is like everyone's got a story.
It's pronounced
about
Northraj.
Northraj.
All right, it's Northraj.
Northraj.
Yeah,
Northraj earthquake.
Yeah, Northraj. It's not a hard R. All right. No, yeah, I was definitely here. I lived South LA, Inglewood, like Ladera Heights area, and we felt it. It when, like we're like, oh shit, that was a big one.
Is it like collapsed part of the highway? Like people like Northridge was completely cut off, like powerless, like fucked for like weeks, right?
Yeah, it was really bad, and like we didn't realize how bad it was until we turned on the TV in the morning. Like it was bad in our house, but we've had like aftershocks before, and so we had like earthquake. The earthquake hooks. I'm not sure if any of my 90s babies remember the earthquake hooks.
What's this? Tell me about this.
So earthquake hooks are something that you installed in your pantries in the kitchen, and you could like they don't open basically, so everything stays in there. And then
that's like a child-proofing similar thing?
It's like a child-proofing thing, but those same hooks would go into the wall and they'd hang on big pictures or lamps, like things like everybody had earthquake hooks. Like they were just all over the place. You're just like, oh shit, and I remember like it looked like somebody just moved everything in our house. Like we didn't realize it at first, but then I was like, oh, the couch is shifted. Oh, the table, like our glass table, looks like it's about to slide off. Like all the chairs are bunched up in a corner. So it was like we got like shook. Like it was crazy.
And it's like you're like what, like 10 miles away more?
Yeah, I mean we're like 17 miles away from Northridge. Like I remember it's 26 miles to get from like Calabasas to Crenshaw, and so like we were like 17 miles away from Northridge,
and still
it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Like so I'm wondering. We talked earlier about in our other pod about like teaching our kids to garden and being self-reliant and all this shit. Like, should they be learning survival skills? Like, should that be something in the back of our mind that we're going to teach our kids? Like, yo, shit hits the fan. This is how you kill a motherfucker. This is how you plant some tomatoes. Like, It's just like you split from left to right across the neck.
We're preparing for the road, the Walking Dead scenario, the Mad Max scenario right off
man.
the bat.
Witness me, like Road Warrior type shit.
Yeah, this is how you siphon gas. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I always thought, like, you know, I'm gonna have to deal with an apocalypse at some point, and then like I'd run up on a car that has gas, nobody's around. I'm like, fuck, I really wish I knew how to hotwire a car. And then I realized, any car after like 2002, you can't hotwire. It cannot be done. Can't like just pop open the bottom. I have to like fucking bank on running in and seeing like a 1990s CRV and be like,
you gotta pat down some corpses if you want to find a car.
Boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, 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 boop. Oh. Okay. Nah, I'm not gonna fuck with the BMW right now. Gas mileage is terrible. Boop, ooh, a Prius. Let's go. Dead bodies are fun.
I mean, yeah, comedic purposes.
Yes.
Like, I think, I mean, we like camping, like we like going outdoor stuff. Like, you know, I think there's certain things like building a fire and how to cook and like things we're going to built in, whatever. But I'm not sure how survivalistic we're going to get about our doomsday prepping yet.
Yeah, cause one thing I'm looking at what's happening in Pakistan right now. For those of you who are living under a rock, Pakistan is having like the worst flood of its existence, probably in the region. The news has been very vague. They're like 33 million people affected. And I was like, oh. Because I was like, the first one, I was like 33 million people are homeless. Then they're saying 33 million people are affected. Now it's 29 million people may have been displaced. But if you look at the videos, I don't know what you're doing. You can go ahead and pause this podcast and look up Pakistan flood 2022. It is insane. It looks like end of day shit.
It is insane.
And
I've
imagine
seen some rescue videos, and
imagine if your house just got washed away. I'm like, you actually went through a hurricane, like lost all your shit, but at least you had some place to go.
Yeah.
And so like I'm thinking like, for me, my family's in fucking Africa. If something hits LA, and it sucks because our whole entire family, we all live in the same city. Yeah. So something happens here, we're all like, all right, let's get the boat. Like we got a 3-month trek. Like we got a really hefty boat ride, because I know KLM and NWA ain't flying to LAX is not going to be useful. And Burbank does not fly to Amsterdam. It doesn't happen. But yeah, I always kind of wonder like what am I going to do? And you know, canned foods, all this type of stuff that we have. Only place I can keep it is in my garage, and power shuts down. I ain't getting in here. There's no way for me to get in this garage.
You have to have an axe, like a standby axe, just in case.
Ooh, I do have one in my cupboard.
There we go.
There we go. It's part of my survival kit. Just gonna rip out my door.
Is this my door axe or my people axe?
Yeah. You don't have a people axe?
I mean, you gotta read some blogs, pick the best people axe on the market.
Yeah. The best people axe. I imagine going to Big Five and be like, hey, yo, I'm going camping. I need like an axe for like people.
Like a people axe.
People axe.
I need one. I got one for wood. We're good. It's emergency situations.
Yeah, I'm looking for a people axe. You know, something sleek, almost Hollywood looking, that I can like swiftly chop off a hand if I needed to.
Not sure you'd make it out of the store.
It depends what state you're in.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, this guy's trying to get an axe. They're like, oh, they stop you and everything. But if you go in there and ask for a gun, you're walking out of there with a rifle.
Yeah, I got a real lippy deer I'm trying to take care of. Oh, let me help you.
Lippy deer. Deer that talks some shit. Goddamn shit talking deer. So I would say like, you've been through like one of the worst hurricanes in U.S. history.
Yeah.
And luckily, I think we've had some aftershocks now that you've been here. You've experienced a few earthquakes out here. A couple out here. So like, if it were up to you and I was like Mother Nature and I came into your house and I said, hey, Bennett, I am Mother Nature. Nice to meet you. You have a lovely home. Would you rather go through a hurricane or an earthquake? What are you going to go through?
It's interesting because anytime it rains in California, like for a prolonged period of time, you realize that every single roof is fucked in Southern California.
Oh,
because it doesn't rain here, so it's not maintained here. I'm assuming like if you're in Louisiana and an earthquake happens, like it's all just rubble. Like like buildings that have been here have withstood decades worth of earthquakes. There's some sort of like rootedness to it.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be very region specific. I wouldn't be calling upon an earthquake and, back home. I think we'd all just sink. It just
into the ground.
Yeah, just like
just like
yeah.
New Orleans is now the city of Atlantis.
Exactly. You just like sink quicksand style into the mud.
Oh man, quicksand keeps coming up when we talk, and I'm very disappointed by it. Very disappointed by it.
It is one of the disappointments of adulthood of how lacking quicksand is, like in your everyday needs.
I told you, I've said this on this pod before, and people can even repeat it as I'm saying it. Say along with me. There's 3 ways I thought I was going to die. And I thought I was either going to be in jail, a fucking home murder, like a home invasion, or quicksand. Those are the 3 ways I was like, I'm going to either be in jail, somebody's going to kill me in my house, or quicksand invasion. And then when I moved to the valley, I always thought I was going to be a mountain lion. Because we told stories about motherfuckers in the valley because it was always on the news in the 90s. In the 90s, you just be chilling. You watch your stories. You watch The Simpsons. You watch your little Sunday night block. And then the fucking 10 o'clock news comes out and it's like, giant mountain lion found right outside Winnetka. More tonight. And you're like, what? What the fuck? There's mountain lions? I remember going to see my friends in the valley that lived in off DeSoto, this Encino area. I had family friends that lived out there, and they were like, in my backyard, there's a church, a railroad, more houses, a basketball court, and a Rouse. In their backyard was a mountain with just hills, brown ass fucking mountains where if you look, it looks like something's moving up there, but it might be the wind, and you're just like, I didn't fuck around with that shit. So yeah.
Hey, you want to go outside? No.
No.
We're going to play Nintendo.
Nope. I'm not going outside. There's quicksand and mountain lions out there.
I can see it from this window.
I can see it from this window. I'm not going to fuck around with it. So I would how much water do you have? Do you not have cases of water?
We have boxes of water. We've got emergency water that came with our kit, which I think it's little baggies that last a long time, but it's in a box.
Oh shit, nice. I keep drinking my emergency water.
That's like using your emergency money.
It's
just money. That's just water. That's not emergency
water.
Yeah,
in fact, I have that problem too. I have an ice maker now. I should have a first aid kit, but now I have an ice maker. No, so one of the things too that we were talking about our power grid being fucked. Have you got hit up for solar panels from the government?
No, I mean we're renting, but I think I'd be so down for solar panels.
So yeah, we did a cost thing. It got so some guy came to our house and been like, "Yo, you can qualify for this plan," and I'm like, "How much is it?" "Oh, it's free. The government pays for it." I'm like, "Okay, cool, but how much is it?" They're like, "No, it's a program. If you qualify, they will supply everything for you." And I'm like, "Okay, so how much is it?" There's no way.
Where's the asterisk?
Yeah, there's no way. Fucking Uncle Sam's coming to my house and says, "Hey, you want electric power?" Tell me how much it is. So we started to go down into it, and there's labor cost and city plans that you have to pay for that you're responsible for. But they literally have a team that install the panels and everything. But they have different contractors that they work with. So basically, after somebody comes to evaluate the house, it's $15,000 for them to reinforce the roof. And then another $11,000 to set you up your battery station that's weatherproof, earthquake proof, everything and I was like, okay, but it's not you're paying $15,000 now and then $15,000 later. There's a payment plan that goes into it, and for 6 years, 7 years, you're paying out the DWP hush money. I don't even know what the fuck that whole portion was. It was just don't tell them I'm off the grid. But then after you bank a certain amount of energy, you just sell it back to DWP.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so your bill, your bill is $30 a month for power and water. That's insane.
That's insane. I want to get on that. Give me that sun power.
Yeah, I need that sun. Every single house in LA should have should be solar powered.
Yeah.
Everybody, fuck these detached garages and side alleys. Every single house has a back alley here. Every single one of them should just have a solar battery dropped.
Yeah.
We get nothing but sun. If you look at all Palm Springs has wind turbines because they have just the way the valley is. There's just always going to be wind. Mm-hmm. Now there might be light days, but it's windy as fuck over there. Simi Valley's been thinking about putting in wind turbines because Simi Valley's also windy. I believe Simi, by the way, is like an indigenous term for wind. Like that's the like that's a fun fact for all you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Don't at me. But yeah, like it's crazy. Like in LA, it's always gonna be sunny as shit. There's like no forest. Like there's nothing that's gonna be blocking my roof.
Palm trees offer very little shade.
Very little. They look cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what their oxygen and carbon intake and outtake is, but they look cool.
No, they damage your car, but that's about it.
I got hit by a palm tree. I almost crashed my motorcycle.
Oh, they'll fuck you up.
I was like, I thought like somebody was trying to clothesline me. Like I was just like, luckily I was slowing down at the red light and this thing just hit me. I was like, I was like, oh my God. And like everybody around me was like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, I just survived that. I almost
LA
died.
literally tried to kill you.
LA's been trying to kill me my whole goddamn life. Hey, Obi, let's go to the beach. Sorry, poison. Hey, let's drink some water out of the sink. Nah, poison. Well, I'm driving down the street. Palm tree.
Yeah.
So three P's. Poison, poison, palm tree. Yeah.
Poison.
Oh, yeah, deep breath. Our fucking Smaug.
Smaug.
Yeah, our Smaug out here.
That is, like, I remember visiting here as a kid, and, like, you could see it. Like, it was a layer.
Yeah, there was such beautiful sunsets because of our Smaug. And for those of you who are not from LA, the Smaug here is not a gold dragon that hoards in a troll mountain. Smaug is actually a culmination of pollution that hovers around in Los Angeles because of the way geographically it's located off of the beach and the wind coming in and the mountains blocking the valley. It just stays here.
Yeah.
It just sits here. And so like when I flew back from the pandemic, when I flew back into LA, I couldn't believe, like I flew into LA every week, twice a week. That was my job. Like I flew to San Jose, fly back to LA. Like I didn't want to live in San Jose. For those of you in San Jose, it's whack. The South Bay is not the Bay. San Jose sucks. Just want to put out there, go Kings, fuck the Sharks. Anyway, I fly back into LA and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like I saw the city.
Yeah.
I saw the city and like the sun beaming off of the, like when you're coming off the coast, like just beaming off all these restaurants and everything. I was like, holy shit. Like I almost cried. I was like, oh my God. And now, a year later, I'm like, oh shit, it took no time. Yeah. It took no time to get right back to it. But yeah, Smaug. Disgusting out here. Mm-hmm. It's fucking disgusting. But anyway, yeah, I want to see if you had to make your go bag right now. Mm-hmm. Like I'm just going to say right now, Bennett, I'm going to put a timer on there. You got 1 minute. I want you to talk us through this process. No pressure. I'm going to be throwing different curveballs at you.
Oh, okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Got to get out of the house. Start grabbing shit. What are you grabbing? What are you grabbing, Bennett?
Is it just me?
It's the whole family. You got to wake up, Nat. You got to get the kids. You got to get it back together. You're not going to be able to come back to the house. You don't know when. What are you grabbing?
All you really need is identification.
That's all you're going to grab.
Like if I have that, if our house is on fire, like if the house is on fire, we're getting
the house isn't on fire. The city's on fire. Your house is fine. You just need to get the hell out of here. All right. What are you doing?
Living through a disaster where you lose everything. What you really need is identification, like that, because that helps you get all your shit back whenever you find what. Obviously, like food for the road or whatever. Like if it's the end of the world, like I ain't going nowhere. We're staying in our house and letting that shit calm down. But like if it's a fire or that's my real answer. Like,
dude, that was a humbling answer. Yeah. Like, as a man who's lost everything before, all you need is your identification. I'm like, okay, shit, yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Because like it honestly, it is real. Like it's like what you really need once the rubber hits the road. Like
is your identification.
Yeah. Like because you can get help after the dust settles. Like
my brother gave me an interesting answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the first thing you do if everything's getting shut down? He's like, going down to the 7-Eleven, stealing the ATM. I was like, oh, so you're gonna riot? He's like, I'm gonna be the first one down there. I'm just gonna pull it out, drag it up here, and see how much cash is in there. I'm gonna need it. And I'm like, holy shit, this motherfucker is living in 3033 right now. Like I'm sitting here talking about getting boxes of water together. Bennett's got his ID. Like, yep, I got all my identification. My brother's like, I'm gonna jack an ATM. I gotta fucking figure out what I'm doing. I'm not prepared.
Yeah, well, also like our house is still like in hangover from the '90s mode. So we got bars and like good bars on all our windows.
Yeah,
so like, if shit like really goes down, like unless things are on fire, like we're not going anywhere. Like we're gonna see how we see what happens first, and then we'll make a move.
It's very funny that you mentioned the bars because I was actually thinking about adding more bars. Because like another thing for people who aren't from LA. down South LA, we had bars on our windows because people were prone to rob your house, and we went through one of the worst riots in LA history post the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And so
like the 70s here, like people were getting murdered like fucking mad.
Yes.
So
so you put bars up on your window.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody smashing up your window, coming up there. You don't want bricks getting thrown through your window, so you just put bars on your window.
Fucking Night Stalker and the fucking
Dude,
Hillside Stranglers all around.
Zodiac
Riot. Yeah.
might be popping over it, hopping on that San Jose flight to
You know
LA.
what? I need more bars.
Yeah. I'm glad there's like, I'm not sure if we still fetishize, like serial killers are still out there, but I don't think we fetishize them as much as we did back in the 80s and 90s. Cause I watch these like true crime things sometimes, and like they'll tell me a story of like some dude in Oregon from 2014. I'm like, why haven't I heard about this motherfucker? And I'm glad that I haven't heard about this dude who's like, you know, would leave body parts in shoes in different places. And I'm like, ew, what the fuck? But like we used to fetishize that shit. How many fucking Dahmer movies there are and fucking Buffalo Bill movies there are?
I mean, there's certain segment of the population, like this guy right here, that does enjoy his true crime and murder and you know, those horrible things. But I also think that like you get more victim side of the story now, at least in my observation.
Yes, you do. You do.
Like there's not this grandizing of them as much as like, look at these pathetic fucking losers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level where I forgot the name of that movie. There's a level where it goes too far, but they made a movie about that woman. I think that the Mansons killed, and you know didn't like.
Oh, it was like a horror movie. Yeah,
yeah, They didn't contact the family.
Yeah,
they didn't.
That looked really classless.
Yeah, I was just like, are you really like reimagining the murder of an actual person? Like, 15 years later.
Yeah, it's like it was
20
a
years later
slasher movie.
Yeah, like come on, who? Again, adults got together, they put together a script,
and they knew what they were doing too. They're like, oh, he's gonna get a lot of buzz.
Oh fuck yeah, man! I definitely want to do like a listicle thing with you and me on that of just like the worst movie calls. Like you shouldn't have made this. You shouldn't have made this.
Unnecessary.
Well, we'll do that next week. We'll definitely do that next week. But so yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10. How prepared, 10 being like, I'm prepared, I'm fucking Mad Max and ready to go off the grid at any point in time. 1 being like, I got nothing in the bank, nothing in the fridge. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared do you think you are to bug out?
Honestly, like we're like 7, maybe an 8.
Damn.
Because like even like, because another hurricane mentality, like when hurricanes come and, you know, a disaster's coming, like my mom would be like, still like if there's hard rain, any kind of inclement weather, weird things happening, she's like, oh, go get a full tank of gas. So like that's one of the, it's like one of the hurricane things. Like if you know bad weather's coming, get that gas tank full in case you got to split.
Yeah,
like that's one of the, you know.
I think I'm like a 5 or a 6, but I might be a 7 and an 8 because of my sister lives in the back house and she's got like survival shit stacked up everywhere. Got gas tanks over here. She's got like knives, rope. Like she's got like camping shit, spelunking gear. Like she's like, just in case something blows up and I got to go live on a cliff. I'm like, don't know that scenario at all, but I'm glad you're prepared.
I'm just gonna walk into the ocean in that scenario. Yeah. Like, there's no cliff dwelling for me. Like, all right, well,
I'd rather fall off a cliff than walk into the Pacific Ocean right now and have my skin fucking melt off my body.
Just come back with bones.
Yeah,
like a cartoon. Yeah,
not a fan at all. But hey, we're gonna take another quick break and we're gonna come back. Thanks for talking to me about this. It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, go buy some shit. You get prepared.
Fuck yeah. This is Papa Don't Preach. We'll be right back. Hey, you guys made it. You should be very, very happy with yourself. Pat yourself on the back. This is the end of our pod. Reached our last segment. So this week we're going to be doing In Other Words, again, our favorite segment. I got Bennett over here. So this week in Other Words, we're going to change the game a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to be doing rapid fire. No laughing.
Okay. All right.
If you laugh, you have to spin the Bean Boozled table. For those of you at home, the Bean Boozled little table is a game of Jelly Bellies where you might land on Bennett. Just span it.
I spun it.
Oh, is it spoon it?
Yeah.
Spoon it. Spot it.
That's right.
Spun it.
I think they're all right.
All right. They're all right. So he landed on juicy pear flavored, or booger flavored. So yes, the Bean Boozled dial has a bunch of Jelly Bellies inside, all the same color, but each color has 2 flavors. You can either pick up toasted marshmallow or stink bug.
So if we crack, like if we laugh,
oh
boy.
There's a chance that we just get through this. It's fine. We're both adults. The in other words that we're doing is breasts. So we're all adults. We've all seen breasts before. We've said the word breasts before.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
So let's see how many words we can come up with breasts.
We're grown men.
We're grown men.
We have children.
We have children.
We've been around breasts.
I believe I've always had a breast near me at all times.
Wow, really?
Well, my mom breastfed me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
tell me how.
Oh, this is gonna be rough. All right, ready? Would you like to go first?
I think you go first.
All right, so I'll go first. All right, boobs,
boobies,
dongles,
puppies,
tatty bojangles,
knockers,
mud flaps,
tetons,
bosoms,
Twin Peaks,
hooters,
chesticles,
boobsicles,
honkers,
pre-glazed donuts,
lovely jubblies.
grand tetons.
I already said that one.
Oh, baby feeders. I have to spin? Okay. The way you said honkers, I had to take a deep breath.
I was trying for it. Yeah.
I'll spin. Okay.
It might get a good one. Hey, you might get 50-50 shot.
All right. So I ended up on berry blue or toothpaste.
Oh, that's
not bad.
Like you brush your teeth every day. It's not terrible.
I don't eat it.
It's that you're not supposed to eat it?
Yeah, here we go. Let's see what I get. Oh my God, this tin smells terrible. There's like a mix of smells that I got hit with. All right, here we go. It's toothpaste.
Yeah.
Oh, that's some Crest. Oh,
at least you're feeling fresh.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of like a bad mint. That one wasn't bad. All right, should we finish up? Do you think we have enough to finish up?
Yeah, let's do one a little bit more. Yeah.
All right. Bazungas.
Lovely lady lumps.
Mosquito bites.
My goodies.
Weapons of mass distraction.
Milk duds.
Coconuts.
Headlights.
Fried eggs.
Cuddle nuggets.
Dairy farm.
Fun bags.
Utter butters.
That's a good one. I didn't get it.
That's the last one. That's the last one.
That's a good one.
Utter butters.
All right. Hey, it could be a good one.
All right, let's put the dial on. Actually, you know what? Let's just take the dial off. You can go ahead and give it a little spin.
All right, let's give it a spin here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably flat. Buttered popcorn or rotten egg. Jesus,
oh my God.
All right.
Oh my God. That's a bad one.
All right. It's yellow
buttered popcorn.
With spots. All right, I know this one. All right, here we go.
Come on. Buttered popcorn. You got this. You got this.
Popcorn.
Buttered popcorn. Oh, you got the right. Oh,
oh God. Oh God. How did they do that?
Oh my God. The look of disgust on your face. Oh
God.
Oh my God. That looks.
No, I gotta finish it. It tastes like bad breath. Oh fuck.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that was another segment of In Other Words, and we've reached the end of our podcast.
It also tastes like buttered popcorn too.
Hey guys, my name is Obi Ikamafuna. I'm here with Bennett Miller. Big shout out goes out to our producing staff, Shannon Taylor, Blaine Pierre, helping us put this show together. Aaron Mostow, Dave. DNA does our music. Oh, that's some spicy mint still in my mouth. This is Papa Don't Preach. Bennett, how you feeling?
Terrible. See you next time.
butterscotch.